Unit 19, Municipal Administration. In the developing countries, the colonial governments during the period of their domination established several statutory institutions. Among them, urban local self-government institutions are most prominent. Ever since the establishment of Madras Municipal Corporation 4 centuries ago, there has been a proliferation of municipal bodies to manage the town and city. Lord Ripon's resolution in 1882 sought to place these urban local government institutions on a sound organizational footings. They have been working with different degrees of success in administering the city. In this unit, we shall examine the nature of the urbanization in India, different types of urban local bodies, administrative structure, role of bureaucracy, municipal finance, control over local bodies and their problem areas, meaning and nature of local self-government. Local government or local self-government is the government of a locality. It is not the area of the state government. It is an autonomous unit like the state or central government. It is the local will, not the will of the center or state, which is reflected through the local government. National government is for the whole nation, hence it is a big government. By contrast, local governments look after the similar other local needs. It is small but important government for a local area, which can be town or a group of villages. The adjective local stands for a small geographical area. Also, it means intimate social relations of the people in a limited geographical space. The other word, government, stands for a public authority. In a democracy, government may be at the regional level, may be at national level, state level, and the regional government at regional level. Below the regional level, there is the local and local level, where government can be legally constituted. This means there are many local government units below the national and regional governments, which exercises authority and discharge a number of important local functions on the basis of statutory decentralization. Local self-government has three important features. A. It is elected by people of the local area. B. It is the power to levy taxes. It has the power to levy taxes and other fees like any other government. And C. Its functions and activities are clearly laid down in law, so that within the scheme of legislation, local self-government enjoys a degree of autonomy. Thus, the local self-government is a statutorily constituted democratic government with a degree of autonomy, exercising jurisdiction over a limited geographical area. The local self-government in liberal democracy marks for decentralization of power. So it is considered as a means of enriching and deepening democracy by extending freedom of action to many localities. It was the view of John Stuart Mill that local government creates conditions for popular participation in governance, and in this process the system has great educative value for good citizenship in a country. Forms of local self-government. There are two common forms of local self-government, that is urban local self-government and rural local self-government. We have Panchayati Raj institution in the rural area. In the urban areas, in the cities and towns, there are municipal corporations and municipalities. According to the 74th Constitutional Amendment, the urban local self-government has been classified into three types, that is Municipal Corporation, Municipal Council and Municipal Committee. Urbanization in India. An urban area is one which is formally so declared through the statutory establishment in that area of a municipal body, a notified area or a cantonment by a defined legislation. Thus, there are municipal acts in different states under which municipal bodies are set up by the state governments in specific areas. Cantonment areas are governed by the central legislation. There can be either areas also that can be declared as urban by the census authorities. The urban population, which was around 3% at the beginning of the 19th century, rose to about 10% by the beginning of the 20th century. Between 1901 and 1921, urban population grew very slowly, that is, it rose from 25.6 million to 27.6 million, and between 1921 and 1941, population rose to 43.5 million. But after 1941, the growth rate gained greater momentum, adding to its urban population. From 1961 onwards, there has been a dramatic change in the urban population of the country. In 1961, the urban population stood at 77.5 million, and by 1981, it had more than doubled to make it 109.6 million, constituting about 23.7% of India's total population. On the basis of census calculation, it can be said that India's urban population has been rising steadily. In 1971, total urban population in India stood at 109.11 million, which rose to 159.49 million in 1981 and 218 million in 1991. During 71 to 81 decade, India's urban population increased approximately 5 million per annum, or at an average annual growth rate of 3.87% compared to the growth rate of 1.78% for the rural population. In the 1991 census, country's total urban population stood at 217.18 million, and the average annual growth rate between 1981 to 91 was 3.09%. Between 1988 and 2001, the projections estimate India's urban population to become almost double from 2001 to 2021. It is expected to double again, taking the urban population to more than 600 million. India recorded a population of 1027 1 अरब 2 करोड़ 70 लाख 15,247 on 1st March 2001. The data indicates that 72.2% persons were recorded in rural areas and remaining 27.8% in urban areas. Urban population growth is supposed to be an indicator of general economic development. Delhi is most urbanized state in India, with over 93% of its population being urban. Amongst the other major states, the most urbanized is Tamil Nadu with 43.86% urban population. Maharashtra has the maximum urban population but is second most urbanized state with 42.40% urban population. Uttar Pradesh contributing nearly 21% to the state's total population, but in terms of urbanizations, it ranks 25th in the list. Gujarat is third most urbanized state, having 37.35% urban population. The Himachal Pradesh is least urbanized state, having 9.79%, followed by Bihar 10.47% and Sikkim 11.1%. In India, lack of employment opportunities in rural areas has led to cityward migration of large rural population, which is commonly known as the push factor of urbanization. The migrants generally choose to settle in large cities where as a consequence population increase is not matched by planned infrastructure developments. Roads, water supply, housing, drainage and sewerage, transportation facilities all suffer from short supply in the face of mounting population pressure. Our large cities like Kolkata, Mumbai, Chennai, Delhi, etc. are all having large slum population, and there is chronic shortage of essential civic services and facilities in these cities. There has been a notion that India is an over-urbanized state because of their substantial increase in population over the years. This thesis is advanced on the ground that there is a mismatch between the levels of industrialization and urbanization. The process of urbanization is costly and impinges upon the economic growth. The state of infrastructure is poor and is not in position to take the growing urban pressure. 74th Constitutional Amendment. Far-reaching changes have been brought about for both municipal government and Panchayati Raj institutions through the two constitutional amendments. The 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 for Panchayati Raj and the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 for municipal bodies. The Constitution of India now provides for the constitution of three types of institutions of urban local self-government. These are municipal corporations in larger urban areas, municipal councils in urban settlements, and Nagar Panchayats in transitional areas which are neither fully urban nor fully rural. In addition, it provides for decentralization of municipal administration by constituting ward committees in territorial areas of such municipalities which have more than 3 lakh population. Composition. The municipal authorities are to be constituted of the elected representatives who are to be elected from different electoral wards. The members of the House of the People and Legislative Assembly of the state representing constituencies which are wholly or partly under the municipal areas. The members of the Council of States and State Legislative Council who are registered as electors within the municipal area. Chairpersons of the committees of the municipal authorities and persons having special knowledge or experience in municipal administration without right to vote. The ward committees are to be composed of members of municipal council representing the wards within the jurisdiction and one of the elected representatives from within the wards to be appointed as its chairperson. But the Constitution gives discretion to the state government to decide the composition. Another important provision of the Constitution amendment pertains to the municipal authorities' right to exist. It gives a term of 5 years to the municipalities, and if at all they have to be dissolved, they must be given an opportunity of being heard. Even if they have to be dissolved because of any irregularity, fresh elections are to be held within 6 months. This prevents the phenomenon of prolonged supersession or years together. Empowerment of weaker sections of society and women is one of the substantive provisions of the Constitution Amendment. With a view to empowering the scheduled castes and tribes as well as women, it provides for the reservation of seats in the council. Besides such reservations, the most important provision of the Constitution Amendment is empowerment of women, for which 1/3 of the total seats are to be reserved. To keep the municipal elections out of the direct control of the state government and to ensure free and fair elections to the municipal bodies, the Constitution Amendment has provided for an independent state election commission, consisting of an election commissioner to be appointed by the governor. The most important feature of the 74th Constitutional Amendment in financial sphere in the mandatory constitution of Finance Commission by the state government is once in every 5 years. The State Finance Commission is to make recommendations regarding the principles to govern sharing of the state taxes, fee, etc. between the state government and the municipalities, and also its distribution among the municipalities. The Commission has also to suggest the principles for the determination of taxes and fees to be assigned to them, and the grants in aid to be given to the municipal authorities out of the consolidated fund of the state. It also has the mandate to suggest ways and means of improving the financial position of the municipal authorities. Moreover, the need for non-planned funds of the municipalities is now to be looked by the Union Finance Commission as well. Federal transfer will now be available also for the municipal authorities. This is an amendment of far-reaching importance. The Constitution Amendment provides for setting up of the district planning committees to consolidate the plans prepared by the municipalities and the panchayats within the district. And to prepare a draft development plan for the district as a whole, the municipalities are to be represented on it. Plans so prepared are to be forwarded by the chairperson of the planning committee to the state government. Similarly, metropolitan planning committees are to be set up in the metropolitan areas on which the municipal authorities are to be represented. The 74th Constitutional Amendment is a landmark legislation that, for the first time, accords constitutional status to municipal government and provides for broader social participation in local councils. People's involvement in civic development, enlargement of functional domain by inserting the 12th schedule, continuity through regular elections and regular fund flow from the higher level governments. The other important dimension is constitutional recognition of micro level planning, coordinated by the district planning committee. These are brighter aspects of the amendment. There are, however, gray areas as well. It has missed a valuable opportunity to specify the functions and also the source of local revenues. This would have prevented the state encroachment into these spheres. Urban local self-government. Following the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992, urban local self-government in India has been classified into three types: municipal corporation, municipalities and nagar panchayats. We are familiar with the names of the Kolkata Municipal Corporation, Delhi Municipal Corporation and similar other corporations in our big cities. In the small and medium towns, there are municipalities that are sometimes called municipal boards or municipal committee, where a place is neither fully rural or fully urban and it is going through a process of urbanization because of industrialization or local location of big development projects. A notified area committee or a town committee used to set up as an interim measure. Under the 74th Constitutional Amendment, a Nagar Panchayat shall be set up in such transitional areas. Indeed, an urban area, irrespective of its size, needs a local government for the provision of civic services and facilities such as water supply, garbage clearance, construction and maintenance of roads. These are some of the important services that an urban government has to provide to sustain civic life in an area. The municipal corporation, municipal council and municipal committee, as per the size of the area provides these services. Number 1. Municipal corporations. The administration of civic affairs in a city is challenged. The distinct characteristic of a city is a huge concentration of population within a limited area. The management of civil services therefore requires an effective organizational structure, adequate finance and effective personnel. The municipal corporation as a form of city government occupies the top position among the local authorities in India. Normally, the corporation from urban government is found in major cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, etc. Municipal corporation is established through a special statute, which is passed by the state legislature. In case of union territories, they are established through acts passed by the parliament. Such legislation may be enacted especially for a particular corporation or for all corporations in a state. For example, the Mumbai and Kolkata corporations are established through separate legislations. Whereas in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, the state level legislation governs the constitution and working of the corporation. The municipal corporation generally enjoys a greater measure of autonomy than other forms of local government. In almost all the states, the municipal corporations have been assigned numerous functions such as supply of drinking water, electricity, road transport services, public health, education, registration of birth and deaths, drainage, construction of public parks, gardens, libraries, etc. These functions are normally divided as obligatory and discretionary. In Haryana, there are only one municipal corporation, that is in Faridabad, with more than 5 lakh population. Municipal corporation is constituted for governing the area. It has both elected and nominated members ex officio. Municipal Corporation Faridabad has at present 28 elected councillors. Under the amended municipal law of the state, election to the municipal bodies must take place every 5 years, unless a municipal body is dissolved earlier. The mayor elected by the members of the corporation from amongst themselves is first citizen of the city and presides over the meetings of the city corporations. In view of the importance of the city, the mayor, who is the first citizen of the city, is a political head. He presides over the meetings of the corporation and generally exercises limited administrative control over the working of the municipal corporation. General pattern in India is that the council elects the mayor for a term of 1 year and he can be re-elected. Normally the mayors are ceremonial heads without any executive authority. The Rural Urban Relationship Committee, which went into the problem of power for the mayor, did not favor any substantial increase. If the mayor is to be elected by the voters of the entire city enjoying 5 years term in Andhra Pradesh, there is a need to reconsider the age-old practice of keeping the mayor only as a figurehead with ceremonial functions and a short term of 1 year. Commissioner. The institution of commissioner was created for the first time in 1888 based on the philosophy that the policy making and policy implementation functions in cities need to be separated. This was later recommended by the Decentralization Commission in 1909. Municipal Commissioner is the chief executive officer of the corporation. He has responsibilities for the administration of the city and implementation of policies and programs decided by the council. The state government appoints the commissioner. Normally, he is a senior officer belonging to the Indian Administrative Service. The commissioner exercises wide functions of administrative and financial areas. He participates in the meetings of the corporations and committees and answers the questions raised by the councillors. He acts as a link between the government and corporation. He has wide power of appointment and discipline, as also supervision and control over the personnel. He also exercises financial discretionary and emergency power. In all these areas, there are variations from corporation to corporation. Municipal Council. Every state in the country has enacted legislation for the constitution of municipalities in the state, specifying their functions, structure, resources, and their role in civic administration. Urban areas having towns with population ranging from above 50,000 to 5 lakh are governed by elected municipal bodies known as municipal councils. Any municipal area with 3 lakh population must form ward committees to ensure true people's participation in the governance of the area. Ward Committee. Ward committees provide population participation in the urban governance and bring the municipal governance close to the people. In this regard, Article 243 provides for the constitution of ward committees in all municipalities which have a population of 3 lakh. It provides that 2 or more wards should be combined for the purpose of constituting a ward committee. The composition, territorial jurisdiction, and the manner in which the seats to the ward committee has to be filled has been left to the hands of the state legislature. Third, municipal committees. Those urban areas which are undergoing transition and have a population of less than 50,000 people are governed by municipal or town committees, the members of which are elected by the resident citizens of the area concerned. Composition of municipalities. The membership of municipalities consists of 2 categories of councillors, which directly elected councillors and nominated ones. The number of elected councillors varies according to the size of population of the territorial area of the municipal corporation, municipal council or municipal committee. In the ease of a in the case of nominated councillors, the state law needed to specify the conditions and procedure for the nomination of such representatives. The nominated members include the member of the House of People Lok Sabha and for the Legislative Assembly of the state representing constituencies which are wholly or partly under the municipal area, member of Council of the States, Rajya Sabha and the Legislative Council of the state who are registered as electors within the municipal area, chairpersons of committees of the municipal authorities and persons having special knowledge or experience in municipal administration but not have the right to vote in the meetings of the council. Mayor in council system. When the left front government come to power in West Bengal in 1977, the task of municipal reform was taken up seriously. A new bill for the Kolkata Municipal Corporation was introduced in 1979 in the legislature. It provided for, among other things, a mayor in council as the political executive in the new corporation. The new act known as the Kolkata Municipal Corporation Act 1980 has since been enforced. In a way, the new act seeks to resume the old thread of supremacy of the political wing in corporation government, which was what Surendranath Banerjee called Swaraj in 1923. The new legislation for the municipal government of Calcutta marks a turning point in the history of municipal government in India. It reflects a political mood. To keep in step with the form of change. Again, the chief functionaries in the corporation of Calcutta, like the deputy mayor, deputy mayor, or members of the standing committees, so long elected for a year at a time, could hardly ensure a continuity of administration and left matters mostly to bureaucratic machineries. This also needs to be turned to the trend of democratization of self-government institutions. The Kolkata Municipal Corporation. Under the Kolkata Municipal Corporation Act 1980, three municipal authorities has been provided for, which A. the corporation, B. the mayor in council, and C. the mayor. The corporation is a body consisting of elected councillors, some aldermen, and a few ex officio members. The mayor is elected for the 5 years from among the elected members of the corporation. He may be removed from the office by the same body under special circumstances. He will continue in office till his successor takes over. The Act creates a cabinet like mayor in council consisting of the mayor, the deputy mayor, and not more than 10 other elected members of the corporation. The mayor from among the elected members of the corporation nominates the deputy mayor and other members of the council. The mayor may also remove them. The mayor in council is collectively responsible to the corporation. There is also a chairman of the corporation. The elected members of the corporation from among the members elect him. There is also a chairman of the corporation. The elected members of the corporation from among the members elect him for 5 years. He convenes the meeting of the corporation and presides over them like a speaker of the legislature. There is also a single statutory committee, the Municipal Accounts Committee. The essential function of this committee is like the Public Accounts Committee of the legislature to examine the accounts of the corporation, scrutinize the reports on the accounts by the auditor, and to submit report to the corporation every year. Borough Committee. Another important feature of the new act is the provision for a second tier administration in the form of Borough Committee. The design is moved by the desire to create local administrative units that would be easily accessible to the citizens for their day-to-day requirements. The Act therefore has introduced virtually a two-tier structure of municipal government in the city of Kolkata. Ward Committee. In conformity with the requirements of the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, the Corporation of Administration has been further decentralized by creating a third tier below the Borough Committee, that is a ward committee in every ward or electoral constituency. Now, the commissioner is the principal executive officer of the corporation. He has to function under the supervision and control of the mayor. The mayor in council form of government has been introduced in all the municipal corporations in West Bengal. Urban development authorities. Urban development is very complex and accordingly, the strategies for developing urban areas are multi-phased. One of the problems of urban areas today is to prevent haphazards and unplanned physical growth in and around them. When the municipal areas at many places cross their boundaries due to unplanned development of per urban area, the improvement of living conditions in these areas and their vicinity becomes imperative. But the municipal agencies are unable to solve this problem due to jurisdictional, legal, and financial limitations. There are only two ways of controlling it, either to extend the municipal boundaries and strengthen them administratively and financially, or to have a separate agency with more power and finances. The estimates committee of the 5th Lok Sabha recommended the setting up of development authorities for the rapidly growing cities and major towns to achieve a planned development. The Planning Commission also indicated the desirability of structural innovations in urban local governments during the 5th plan. This led to the composition of urban development authorities for various metropolitan and other cities. The Delhi Development Authority was first to be set up in 1964. The urban development authorities are expected to plan, control and coordinate development programs in and around metropolitan and other big cities. The following are the major objectives of the authorities: to prepare and implement plans for development of the area, to prepare zonal development plans for the zones into which the development area may be divided, to control the use of land for various purposes, to carry out development work and provide infrastructural facilities. Broadly speaking, the urban development authorities have regulatory, planning and promotional functions. They have to regulate and check the unplanned growth of the cities and towns. They have to ensure orderly and planned utilization of land in accordance with the master and zonal plans. They supplement the development activities of the municipalities and corporations. These urban development authorities face several bottlenecks in the discharge of their functions. These include problems of coordinating between the development authority and the corporation or municipality, inadequate resources and lack of sufficient and competent technical staff. Administrative structure. Competent personnel are essential for the efficient management of civic services. Failure to recruit suitable personnel was attributed as one of the reasons for the inefficient and the poor image of the municipalities in the country. Three broad types of personnel systems prevail in India. Sometimes they are adopted in combination. Firstly, the integrated service in which personnel is interchangeable between the state government and the municipalities. In this, the officers of the state government and municipalities form a part of the same service and are transferable between them. Secondly, there is a unified local government service in which all or some categories of personnel of municipality constitute a career service for the entire state. The personnel of this service are transferable from one municipality to the another. It is administered and controlled by the state level agencies. Thirdly, separate personnel system in which municipality appoints and administers the personnel. They are not automatically transferable to other municipalities. This practice is prevalent in most of the Western countries. Personnel working in municipalities may belong to any one or all the three categories. These three personnel systems have certain distinct advantages as well as disadvantages. The chief merit of the integrated service system is that there is no distinction between state and local services. Therefore, municipalities can draw upon the services of suitable officers from the state government. As they belong to the state cadres, these officers feel that they are independent of the local body and do not develop any identity with the municipality. Under the unified system, there is scope for specialization in municipal offices as recruitment is made specifically for the local bodies. They are transferable from municipality to municipality. Therefore, they gain experience. This system is criticized on the ground that it weakens the control over the officers working under it. The separate personal system, viewed from point of view of autonomy of local bodies is an ideal. In this system, municipality can exercise total control over the officers. Under this system, there is no scope for divided loyalties, which strengthen the identity between the officers and the municipalities. The Municipal Act generally prescribes the source of recruitment of various categories of personnel. The state governments are not only creating cadres of municipal services but also laying down the service conditions. In the urban local bodies, there are two different categories of officials. Firstly, the administrative component consists of the commissioner, officers and general administrative staff. Second category is the technical officials like engineers, health officers, town planners, finance officers, etc. Depending upon the categorization of municipality, its resource base and the requirements, the number as well as level of specialization of officers is determined. To support the administrative and technical officers, there is a large body of operational staff like sanitary inspectors, tax inspectors, assistants, conservancy staff, etc. Local bodies are unable to attract competent people because of the poor resource base. The officials coming on deputation from other state level departments consider it a punishment rather than a pleasure. Another problem is that of relations between administrative officials and the chairman and the councillors. Unless cordial relationship exists between them, the civil administration will suffer badly. Finance. Urban local bodies require adequate resources to undertake their obligatory and discretionary functions stipulated in the Act. The municipal authorities get their income primarily from their own resources, that is, the tax and non-tax resources, which have been assigned by the state government and are mentioned in the municipal statutes. A municipal council can statutorily impose the taxes as follows: tax on buildings and lands, which besides a general tax also includes rates on water, lighting, fire services, etc. Tax on buildings payable along with the application for sanction of the building plan. Tax on professions, trades, etc. Tax on vehicles other than motor vehicles. Tax on animals. Tolls on roads and ferries and octroi. Non-tax resources include rents on land and houses, sale proceeds of land and other products of land, fees from educational institutions, license fees, fines for violating municipal bylaws and other fines and fees, and receipts from slaughterhouses. In addition, there are provisions for shared revenues, grant in aid, and loans from the government and financial institutions, besides tax and non-tax sources. The resources of local bodies come from both internal and external sources. Receipts of municipalities in Chennai Department of Economics and Statistics, Chennai, highlights that the income from taxable sources constitute 29% and from non-taxable sources 43%. Internal receipts include sources from others also, that is total 57%. Grants and loans from River Action Program, etc. constitute 5%. This indicates that internal sources constitute more than half of the total resource base of the urban local bodies. They also receive financial assistance from the government in terms of devolution 13%, entertainment tax 5%, surcharge on stamp duty 9%, and grants, loans and receipt from others 12%. There are variations from state to state. The expenditure pattern of municipality in Chennai reflects that out of total expenditure, 40% is spent on salaries and pension, 32% on maintenance of street lights, water supply, roads conservancy and other forms, and others from the revenue accounts, and 28% from the capital account. The data highlights that sound resource base is one of the major requirements of the urban local bodies for development works. The committees and commissions, both at the national and state level, have recommended both short-term and long-term measures. Unfortunately, no serious efforts are being made to correct this imbalance between functions and finances in the urban local bodies. The 74th Constitutional Amendment is a bold step in this regard. State and local self-government. Urban local bodies are institutions of decentralization created by the state government through the municipal acts. The provisions of the act govern the relations between the two. There are several criticisms about state control over local bodies which are theoretically autonomous. There are 4 reasons as to why state should exercise control. Firstly, the state government creates local bodies. Secondly, as part of the state, there is a need for homogeneous development of all the areas which can be ensured by the state. Thirdly, personnel with technical skills and experience required in nation building activities have to be provided by the state. And finally, the state government provides financial state assistance to local bodies, which implies control to ensure that the money is properly utilized. Whatever be the rationale, the major objective of control and supervision by the state government is to ensure efficiency in the performance of functions by the units of local self-government. But what is important is that guidance and control should not be negative. It should strengthen their confidence and enable them to assume more responsibilities. Therefore, there is a need for high degree of cooperation and coordination between them rather than acrimony. There is a feeling in the country that the strong hold of the state government over the local bodies is too extensive, which cuts at the roots of the local autonomy. 2 arguments are advanced in this connection. Firstly, the resource base of the local bodies is shrinking and state governments have been doing precious little. Secondly, the power of suppression and dissolution are being indiscriminately used against local bodies. For example, in 1989, out of 73 municipal corporations in the country, 39 were superseded at different points of time. This is indicative of the extent of control exercised in the state over the local bodies. Most committees have recommended measures to strengthen the resource base and also the capacity of these institutions. Acceptance and implementation of these recommendations would go a long way in ensuring cooperative relations between the state government and urban local bodies. It is to be noted that the 74th Constitution Amendment gives a term of 5 years to the municipalities. The government may dissolve the bodies, but fresh elections are to be held within a period of 6 months. Moreover, to augment the resources of the municipalities, a finance commission has been constituted in every state. Summary. Urbanization is an important and complex process in the country which needs due attention. Various strategies and structures to deal with the emerging problems of the urban development so far have been ad hoc. There are wide variations in the power and functions, resource-based pattern of personnel and effectiveness of urban local bodies in the country. In recent years, efforts are being made to provide strong resource base according to the functions of the municipalities. In this unit, we have discussed important aspects of local self-government, urbanization, 74th Constitutional Amendment, municipal corporation, municipal council, and municipal committees. In addition, development authorities, municipal personnel, finance, and recent developments have been explained. It is evident from the data that majority of India's population lives in rural areas. Therefore, in the next unit, we will discuss the important areas in Panchayati Raj institutions.